one of the things we looked at in an opportunity always was from an acquiring perspective, does their culture, do their values, do their roadmap of where they're trying to go as a company align to where we are trying to go? It's a lot easier to bring somebody in when those two things look similar or feel similar and feel the same. So that was one of the pieces we did quite extensively in our work of, do their values match up with our values? Do their culture match up with our culture? Do they have the kind of same things inherent to them that's made them successful and made them attractive for us to want to acquire them, fit to where we're going? So I think that's one of the key things of having leadership that does believe in it and make sure that we're looking for that alignment and fit. I think the other thing you talked about or you asked about was around, not everyone's going to be along for the journey after a period of time. And how do you handle some of those conversations that are challenging when people might not be part of the process? And I think each one of those, and I can think of some of the scenarios, we knew going into it that some people might not be. And in a lot of cases, we know who those might be, right? We knew who might not make it for whatever reasons. Some because they said, we don't want to be a part of it going forward. This is our time to step aside and let a next group come in. But we handle those with dignity. We factored in doing the right thing by those people so that we were looking at the evaluation of the business. Does those make sense for us and that we're treating those people fairly? And in some cases, maybe more than fair than an overall type of communication. We also wanted to make sure that we know that if those people had been loyal from an acquiring perspective to that leadership team or to a leader, that they're going to look at that and see how is that person treated, because if they can be treated that way, how am I going to be different? And so it's really making sure that when we go through that process that we're crafting that message together of how we're going to go through an exit piece or how we're going to have a conversation about maybe a different role change even. I think it should be said this way or done this way so that we all leave that process. We're all communicating the same thing, because again, I think it comes back to the open communication process. What I can say is that through a lot of those acquisitions, we didn't have the exits. We built the process of strategy so that people could stay, but also so that they could grow with us. One of the things we wanted to do was find ways to bring people up. So if people see that there's a future and you can make development steps up in your career, and obviously more money comes along with that, and they're saying all the things. They talked about this and they've delivered it and it's worked out well for me. And I think that if you buy in, it'll work that way as well for others. I think that to me has been a big thing too, is watching some acquisitions where people that were part of the acquiring team actually really benefit from these new opportunities.
It sounds like almost the default mindset of the leadership team was, let's try to provide a development pathway as much as we can. And when we can't, let's deal with things with a level of dignity where we're showing people who we are versus just saying and telling people who we are.